Good morning, everyone. My name is Shahar Waiser, and I'm founder and co-CEO of GetTaxi. Before we start, I actually love to ask the same question, and I need your help and attention. So please, all of you, raise the hands who took a cab, took a taxi, at least once within the last month. Just any cab. You took a taxi, you know, you had a drink after hours, airport, and what I usually see is 100% of people took a cab at least once within the last month. And it's not surprising because the data shows, and it's really surprising, at least for me, that about 50%, half of every adult resident in any city in the world, taking taxi at least once every month. So it's an interesting industry, it's huge. We talk about 30 billion, and we talk just about Europe and USA, we not count South Africa or Asia. It's a huge market, and we wanted to make it different. We wanted to make remarkable service, and I want to show you a short movie that actually shows where we go and how it works.
Getting a taxi is a concept as old as time. Even before the invention of the wheel, people have been getting taxis to take them where they want to go. With the evolution of technology throughout the ages, taxis have evolved as well. But the concept of how you order a taxi, strangely, has not. You could either try to hail one with your hand, or pick up the phone and stay on hold forever. Well, not anymore. Introducing GetTaxi, the service that allows you to instantly order a taxi right from your mobile in a simple click. See your taxi on the map as it travels to you in real time, as well as let you know the driver and ride information, such as name and phone number, car type, license number and color. No more phone calls, no more waiting in line. Just click the Get Taxi button and the taxi is as good as there. You can rate the driver, share with your friends, and earn miles just as you do with the airlines. So get smart, get taxi.
So this is the movie just to show the experience we are trying to achieve. We want to make the frustrating and boring experience of ordering a taxi completely different. We want you to make an order instantly, being confident, being in control, where's your taxi, pay instantly, basically making it fun, reliable, and affordable experience. But this is where we started. We said, okay, let's make that experience a commodity. Why not? I mean, once you start to use GetTaxi, you basically get very, you start to believe it should working like this every time. So this is the commodity already. But what we really aiming to, and what is our vision to where GetTaxi could be, is actually change the industry so much fundamentally that you will prefer the taxi over your private transportation. And that's big. Let me explain this. I mean, today you use taxi in certain occasions. Your private car is still better choice, right? You have a freedom, it's reliable, it's downstairs, I can go everywhere. But what if we can make a taxi available to you within 3 minutes? You click a button, 3 minutes, it's there. It's reliable, it's always there. What if I have a cashless experience? I get in a taxi and I get out of taxi without paying because I have it automatically either on my card or my business account. What if we can achieve that? Then you start to use taxi actually better than your car. Private car, especially if you're in a city, you don't want to deal with the parking and garage and other stuff. So this is what we want to create. And it's a difficult task because, give us a credit, building the infrastructure is not an easy task. There are lots of work have to be done in order to achieve that, but let's see what we already done. We launched initially in Israel. It was a year ago, and we're going to celebrate this in the close months. We're already doing 3 minutes arrival time. And this is not just small Tel Aviv that we all know, it's entire central Israel, about 15 cities, in any place in central Israel, which is in the size of London or Moscow, you can click a taxi and get it within 3 minutes. It's less than yeah, I'm using a taxi all the time in Israel. I click the button, before I get downstairs, I already have my car available. And I can go 500 meters to my meeting, drop the car, have my meeting, order another one, and go to another place. London, we launched last summer, we're already 5 minutes. London is a similar size of city like Moscow. 5 minutes, that's what you have. Moscow, we just launched 2 months ago. It's a difficult task. I mean, we'll talk about Moscow specifically where we start, but we like to see that we're already doing 12 minutes arrival time. And for those who come from abroad, you might think that 12 minutes, it's actually, come on, who needs 12 minutes, right? In any other country, you order a taxi, it's usually 5, 7, 10 minutes. But in Moscow, we'll talk about it, it usually takes 45 minutes if you call ordinary taxi, because they have small fleets. And the city is big, that's why it takes so much time. So starting and having 12 minutes, it's a difficult task. We have lots of challenges here. We just started 2 months ago, but this is what we had. And experience shows that when we have a year to operate, we can take it down to 3 minutes, and it's big. We believe that you want to have, and we want you to work in a taxi. We want you to have a freedom, basically, to getting around in a city. Very easy way. So yes, you have a car downstairs. Yes, it's available every time, and you have a free Wi-Fi. We're already experimenting with it in Moscow, and almost every car we have here has a free Wi-Fi, so it's convenient to work while you going. This is important. We call it cashless experience. Once you try it, you can use taxi another way. By other words, we launch credit cards that you can put on file, and then you leave a car, you charge, you get a receipt, and you're done. Or if you're business, small business or big, we work with many companies, including Disney, Google, ICQ, Warner Music, Pricewaterhouse, many companies. All the employees who use GetTaxi, they just have this cashless experience. You get in a car, you get out, it's all done. By the end of the month, you get an invoice to the corporate. This cashless experience is critical to our vision, where you can use a taxi better than your car. It's just that convenient. Now let's touch Moscow. It's very interesting new city we launched, and we want to see it as a business case what we can do within 6 months, and how we can change the experience in that big but complicated city. So as I mentioned today, Moscow is different from other cities, and you have very little amount of cars that you can order, and the fleets are small, so that's why on average it takes 45 minutes if you order regular cab. Those of you who've been here and maybe click GetTaxi and it shows 20 minutes, they say, oh, 20 minutes, what? Why I would use the GetTaxi? They call the taxi companies. I heard many stories like this today. And they say, okay, we'll be in 1 hour, is it okay? So this is where we live now, and we want to bring it down to 5 minutes. 5 minutes in a city where people used to get 45 minutes, it's a big change, because it's not just being #1 in that market, it means to change the market, how people use taxi. Because if it's 45 minutes, I prefer to use my car, nothing else. 45 minutes, it's not usable. Another thing, I mean, because the fleets are small and it takes them tons of time to get to you, they charge you minimal charge. As less as you can get is $10 minimal charge just to get the car, because they drive from far away. We want to bring this minimum to 0, 25 rubles, and if you do that, once again, you have a bigger challenge, because people start to use taxi as an alternative to their car. Come on, if I have it 2 minutes down, I'm paying 0, I drive 500 meters, I leave, that's a different story. It's not just that I go to airport or I'm drunk. So this thing is important. I mean, for the first time, whoever used GetTaxi, and we really fanatic about it, we created infrastructure where people rate their drivers. And this is crucial because eventually, if you motivate people, if you motivate those drivers who are service-oriented, who are good to the customers, you create a different user base. And in Israel, we see it. After 6 months, we have different drivers who care about service. It's secure, it's nice, it's different. And that's what people love. We're trying to create remarkable service in every touch we have with the user, either when you order, or taxi, or driver, or car. once again, altogether, if we succeed in creating all this infrastructure and making it available, we will change, not just to become a bigger in this huge industry of $30 billion, we wanted this industry to be bigger. We want you to leave your car and move around the city with GetTaxi. Short intro about how it looks like. Today we're already in London and Moscow and other cities in Israel, as I mentioned, 13 cities of central Israel. And the idea behind it is that not only it's convenient for you in the same city, you can use the same app when you travel. We want you to go to London this summer, to Olympic Games, and use the same GetTaxi app you use in Russia, in Russian, and you might still use it in London, in Russian, while the drivers will get it in English. So it's disconnected. If you travel from Israel, you can do the same. You change the country and you use the same app all around. So that's why it's also important. This is how it looks in London. In London you can rent the cars, it looks pretty interesting. This is Israel. And in Russia we like to wow our customers, and we're all constantly trying to wow them. So one of the things we're experimenting here is free Wi-Fi we mentioned before. Also we have a fleet of Mercedes S Long. And our loyal users who use us a lot, sometimes as a surprise can get an upgrade for the first class. They get the Mercedes S-Class Long, not always, but if you're loyal and patient enough, you get it. And you pay the same minimal charges we charge on our regular fleet. So we love this. New York is next, and this is what we're working right now. It's challenging, not less than Moscow, and we hope we succeed there as well. And wish us good luck, and I hope we will make it in Moscow eventually, and it will be helpful to you. Thank you.
Thank you. We wish you good luck.